It was why I said what I said at the after the parade that fans care as much as we do. Fans care as
Mm-hmm.
much as we do, and they invest as much of their passion as we do. And so, all of you are also world champions if you're a Dodger fan for that moment in time. And I hope you appreciate it as much as we do.
I just want somebody to talk Dodgers to me. What are you looking at?
I'm thinking.
Our notes?
Yeah. And I'm just thinking.
Well, let's fill in our listeners.
I know.
But, welcome back to Talk Dodgers to Me. I am Melissa Meyer.
And I'm Jacqueline Ruiz.
And we just interviewed Stan Kasten, president, CEO, and part owner of the Dodgers.
I mean, we met him at spring training.
I met him at the women's event.
You met him at the women's event. But like your first real interaction of discussing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
We didn't tell him about that he was our Ted Turner.
We
moment.
didn't.
There were a couple things that we didn't get to we just had to go with the flow, and you can't force things in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally.
I know we're both like sitting here kind of thinking, so did it go well? How did we do? Did we ask everything? Right? Those are our faces right now.
Well, I honestly feel like we went with the flow and it was great. There's so much we want to ask him, and there's so many different ways. And, when we could geek out and talk about something forever, but I wanted to be personable because every single time we've met him, he has such kindness behind his eyes, and he looks at you and he talks, and it's just like, I wanted another interaction like that, and I liked that. I wanted to get to know him. I wanted to hear little insights.
Yeah, whenever we've run into him, it's very short. There's not a lot of conversation that can happen. So I was really excited to get to know him more, for him to get to know us more.
I mean, he had his honeymoon at Dodger Stadium.
I know.
Wow. Now it's like probably such a stressful place in October, and his wife's like, "Did you ruin our honeymoon?"
We forgot to ask him about the women's hockey team.
I'm telling you, there's so
Guys,
much more. We're gonna have to do
we
a part
forgot
two.
to ask him, but did you know that Stan and Mark Walter are pioneering a women's hockey league?
No, they pioneered it in 2024. It came out with the Women's Professional Hockey League, which is any ally in what that world is, I'll take it. And I love hearing that because, women's sports needs whoever it is that's going to like bring a good passion and momentum behind it. And it's like his accolades and everything he's done. It's like a no-brainer that they thought of him to like.
I know. I didn't realize how integral he's been in the sports world for so many years. I really didn't. I mean, 27, he's the GM. Oh man, we forgot to ask him the difference between the president and the GM. Sometimes I know that fans think like maybe confuse Andrew Friedman and Stan's roles. So I just wanted to hear how he would explain what their roles are.
I think
okay, guys, we're going to need a part two.
Well, but I think from another interview, I heard him saying that pretty much people come to him first, report to him, and then it goes on. And there's different routes of what that looks like.
Well,
but
Andrew reports to him. Yeah. Well, we did talk to him about a lot of great stuff.
No, it's a good one. And
he's awesome.
Amazing.
The first time I met him was the first women's event I went to, and I knew who he was. I knew he was from New Jersey, so I felt like I could weave that in and I'd be on his good side. And I saw him and I kind of just like forced myself. Sometimes I will do something just so I don't leave having a regret, because any regret will stick in my head, and I'm such an overthinker already that it's like, that's how I can set myself up for success, just by doing it.
Well, then that makes me so happy at spring training that I forced
the
second hello, because you would have regretted that. And it was perfect. And it was so cool to see him.
Okay, so we've already told the story, but as a refresher, we're at spring training. It's both of our first times. And there we see Stan Kasten just walking around. And I'm like, Jack, that's Stan. The president of the Dodgers. She's like, she starts running. And I'm like, okay, calm down.
I wasn't running.
Calm down.
You need to
We're
calm.
not chasing him.
I turned around and I said, let's go. We've got to say hi. And you're like, no, I mean, what? I'm like, no, come on. He's right there. He's gonna say hi. If it's awkward, then we'll laugh about it.
It ended up being a great encounter because not only was he really excited to see us or meet us, hopefully, he was signing autographs for kids, which was really cute.
So cute. But I love that he looked at us and was like,
and we gave,
thanks a lot, girls.
I know. And then we gave him our business cards and he's like, oh my gosh, I only have one. And then walked away. So we were like sharing the one. And then he comes running back. He's like, wait, I found another. Mm-hmm. That was so sweet.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
And then we saw him at the women's event together.
I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, this was great. It's cool to talk to the guy that knows all.
Well, and we have to be better as fans, guys. We can't knock them down. They're already hurt. Like, hearing him say that, I'm like, you're right. That's so mean. Like, why is everyone so mean? But
I mean, that's kind of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Fanatics.
Buenos dias, fanáticos.
I could have asked him about Shohei the whole time. I could have asked him about Clayton Kershaw the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
We were texting each other last night and we're like, we just need to ask him. I don't even know exactly what about Kersh. It's like, can we just say Clayton Kershaw, go?
Yeah.
Tell us everything.
I know. We forgot to ask him where he was when Freddie Freeman hit a grand slam.
Oh my gosh.
Where were you in the stadium when that happened? Well,
Stan, we're going to need you back.
We're going to go tonight. So hopefully we run into him.
Imagine.
I would love that.
Oh, like, guys, we got our answers.
Oh, man.
Well, we had to be respectful of his time so that he wants to come back.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing.
He needed to. We've ran into him a few times. We've told him about our show. He's always been so lovely. And we were really looking forward to having him on to just experience what it is we bring to the table and the kind of show that we facilitate. And, it's always more than baseball and it's always bigger than just the job. And, we appreciate, we know all of them don't look at themselves necessarily as fans. I understand that this is a business, but we appreciate them putting their best foot forward for us fans. And whatever that is that makes you, we had to have him on so that we could hear that from his mouth. Mm-hmm. So special.
How are you feeling about our Dodgers right now?
Last night was rough. But you know what?
We're going to be there tonight.
Guys, I am not kidding when I say when I get closer and closer to October baseball, I just crave good baseball. Like the Phillies, this is what I want. I want to play good baseball.
It was a good game last night.
It's a great game. Like I can never be mad at a good baseball game. Like whether it's not necessarily the outcome I want, I love good baseball.
Mm-hmm. And, Emmett Sheehan was great. I was so shocked when I first saw Anthony Bonda in, but...
Right. So I was kind of running around at that point. My mom goes, Bonda? And I was like, wait, did the game start at 4? Because I felt like he's usually in later on. So I thought I missed and then she's like, no.
They had him in to face specific hitters.
Interesting.
And then they were bringing in Emmett Sheehan. I mean, we did that last World Series a lot. So they're, starting to be really strategic.
Yeah,
but it didn't work out because Schwarber hit a homer off of Bonda.
I know, I saw that. Well, I actually heard.
But then we got one from Muncy. Then we got one from Mookie. And Andy. What can I say about Andy? I swear he hates when I choose somebody else. He really does.
To be player of the week.
He wants to be your player of the week every week.
Andy, I want you to be my player of the week every week. So just keep it coming all the way through. Truly. Man. I know. I wanted to ask him too. Like, I know you're a very progressive thinker. When did it get into your mind that you wanted Freddie Freeman? Just so many things. I love it.
I wonder if they had a relationship when Freddie was with the Braves. I have heard him say that it wasn't like a grandmaster plan that when he came to the Dodgers, he was going to bring Freddie. And I definitely believe that. But yeah, I wonder if he had any relationship with him.
Man. All right.
I'm excited for tonight's game. We'll be there.
When's the last time you and I just went?
Do you know what I was thinking? I really want to go to a game, just me and you, and watch the game and not talk to anyone or each other.
Are you like socially overstimulated right now?
No, I just
Fine, don't talk to me tonight. That sounds boring.
Okay,
go
we
with
go to-
Adam. He doesn't like
we
to
go
talk.
to a game and we're talking so much, and then we see people and we talk to them and we're all over the place. I just want to like put
I
on a
know,
hat
I know.
and watch the game and really just zone in on what is going on the entire time and not have any distractions. Is that okay?
Yeah, I know. I get what you mean.
Just once.
To be honest, sometimes when I go with Courtney and stuff, I mentally like click into that a little. Because 1, 2, like she's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. She's also, you know, inviting me as her guest. And, you know, you try to like lean into what her and I have always done is just like watching and hanging on every play and knowing exactly what happens. And like, that's the fun of baseball. So yeah, then tonight will be better. I can't sit silent. That'll give me anxiety. But let's just be so immersed in the game, we miss nothing.
I just feel like I want to sit there and I'm going to probably notice things that I hadn't before just because I'm so locked in the game. What
Sure.
are you laughing at?
Just you? Really overthinking.
You know, I used to go to games by myself.
Okay, fine. I won't go.
I like to go to movies by myself. I don't want anyone talking to me.
Oh, I'm so the opposite. I don't need to always be with someone. I get what you mean, though. I mean, I sometimes do, you know, I want to watch the game and I want to just be immersed, but it's just so
It's different,
hard because
yeah.
people, you know, you see people and
And I love that too. I really, really do. I love meeting our listeners at the stadium when we're running into friends. I love that. I'm just saying, like, one game, can we just go and keep to ourselves? Okay, I'll just do it and not tell you.
well, now I'm going to be like, man, is she in a bad mood?
No, it's just because I love baseball so much.
You can love it and say words.
Guys, this is the first time I'm wearing this dress from Japan.
I love it. When that whole shopping experience, Adam, tell us how you felt about that shopping experience.
I was over it real fast.
Actually, you said that was the best time you had all day when you were just sitting waiting for us.
Yeah, I got to sit down. That was the best part, but the shopping itself was bad.
I mean, at this point, I wish I would have just went around and bought him some shoes because
That's why he didn't like to walk, guys, because he didn't bring rain shoes. So his feet were soaking wet. That was, that sounds awful.
yeah.
I didn't say it wasn't my fault.
Okay, as long as we can admit that. No, I mean the shopping experience, but Tokyo, honestly, I just never get over talking about that.
I want to go back.
I want to go back. It was a great experience. I mean, there was a lot going on, and but there's a lot of Oh, I heard you got a matcha recently. How was that? Because I have not. My mom was like, "Hey, honey, I know you've been trying to not drink as much coffee. I got this stuff called matcha," and I was like, "Get it out of the house. Get it out." Oh, anyway,
Oh.
should we do our player of the week?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, my matcha was $9 the other day.
Oh man,
I'm really not that person that is like, oh my gosh, my coffee is so expensive. But I got an iced matcha for $9. That was pretty crazy.
man, maybe we should have bought a matcha kit in Japan, making it at home.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Maybe.
The little pastries were like kind of gooey.
Yeah, I didn't remember. I'm like,
I was
do
like,
I
did you
have
guys forget to
eat
bake
them?
it?
They were real mushy.
It was like mochi kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I normally like.
Remember it snowed that day? That was a crazy day.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, player of the week.
Okay. You got yours?
Mhm.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. Player of the week. 1, 2, 3. Mookie.
Pajes.
Wow. You're caving
I'm what?
to him wanting it so bad.
I mean, he hits home runs, and he hits home runs when I need him to hit a home run.
Okay.
He comes through, and I just can't get over it. Everyone's really been stepping up in different ways. Mookie has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing his smile.
I guess
mean,
Mookie's been my player of the week as much as he could be.
as much as he could be.
I love that he celebrates the small wins. He got 2 sack flies. Actually, did he get a homer too? Yeah, he got a homer also, right?
Yeah.
But he hit 2 sac flies, and you see him like,
Yeah. I mean, when
walking
he
in.
gets on first and he knows he either brought someone in or moved a runner over, and then he's just like, "Mm."
Do
And
you
I'm
love
like,
his new thing where he
"Oh,
lifts
it
his
is like-
leg when he's running like right after second base? He does this thing, and I'm really into it.
Oh, I don't know if I've mentioned
Maybe
that
he
one.
wants to have his own signature move, like, Kirk Gibson running the bases, and he's got like the, yeah, he's got that thing.
Oh man, that was like
Maybe he wants his
besides
own
Freddie
signature
Freeman's
move.
grand slam, that Gibson home run.
Yeah,
Was it a grand slam? No, it was a home run. Walk off.
yeah,
I knew it was a walk off. I just didn't know if it was a grand slam or just a home run. I don't know why I can't remember that.
home run.
Home run. It just lives rent free in my head.
I'm so mad we didn't ask Stan where he was.
You want
for
to
the
know
Freddie
what
Grand
I
Slam.
really appreciate is that Stan said this was before you were born, and he talked about 92.
I know.
I was like,
I almost wanted to
wow.
say something, but
Yep, taking the win.
sure.
Anyway,
I didn't want to drink my coffee when Stan was on because I feel like I would have spilt it everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that was really fun, and
Mhm.
I'm really happy.
I am really happy. We really
know
manifested that one.
I know we said we forgot to ask some questions, but when you're in the moment, we want to go with the conversation and be as present as we can so that our questions are genuine. And that's what we did today. So.
Well, and during the moment, I didn't feel like I was forgetting anything
I
because the
know.
conversation was just so great. And that's one thing. It's like you can prep and you can put questions just in case, and there's some, we really tried to come up with really good questions no matter which way it went. But the ideal situation is when they start talking for it to just flow into how it's supposed to flow. And, we did do a little extra prep because this was something special. And, he impresses us with what they do. We wanted to impress him.
Totally. And we're not just like asking questions, we're having a conversation. So also just watching as much as we can, gaining as much knowledge about him so that in moments where he's saying something, something will click in our head and that will come out because we want them to feel really comfortable that they're just sitting down having a conversation with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that that's how he felt leaving the Zoom.
I know. Side note, like him being 27, his youngest GM, and like when we talked to Joe Davis and he was 28 when he became like, the next Vin Scully of however that was going to be. And like, I'm like, what was I doing in my 20s? What is this path?
I love that. He said
love
he
it.
met a fan somewhere and they said their favorite Dodger was Vin Scully. Okay, well, now we're just giving everything
I know.
away.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. I think we should just get right to it.
Yeah.
All right, now please enjoy our interview with Stan Kasten.
Go Dodgers.
We'll be bringing them luck tonight. Well, we have a very special guest today. We have the president and part owner of the Dodgers himself. Welcome to Talk Dodgers to me, Stan.
Hi, guys. Good to
Hi,
talk to
Stan.
you. Good to see you.
So nice to have you on.
We've run into you all over the place. Spring training,
I
Dodger
do-
Stadium.
I do move around, but so do you guys. So yeah, it's always good to see you, even if it's not in person. So this is cool.
Actually, I have to ask you, I heard on the broadcast you almost got hit last night. Are you okay?
I did not get hit. There was a foul ball coming directly at me, and I ducked just in time. So no, I did not get hit. It was just funny.
I pride myself in being an athlete, and I went to a baseball game. This was a college game, and a foul ball came up, and I'm pretty agile. And when they're that high, I'm like, I got lost. I felt like I don't care where I duck, this thing's gonna hit me.
Yeah, it twists, and especially like a straight up foul ball.
Yeah.
When it started out, it looked like it would be a section or two over, and by the time it got to earth, it was right near me,
Yeah.
arm's length, I would say.
Well, they did mention it on the broadcast, so I can
Okay.
Anticipate lots of gloves coming your way.
Yeah, no, I have people to do that sort of thing, catch balls in the air, and they're really good at it. So no, I won't be needing it. But I have a glove in my trunk, and I have for years, just in case a catch breaks out. So I have a glove with me all the time. Yeah.
I bet it's as cool as the jackets you wear. You've got some great style,
Well,
Stan.
I have people at the stadium who when they want to display their merchandise, they know how I walk around. They say, Stan, would you please wear this? So I do, and that has led me to some questionable choices of apparel, but our merchandise people seem to think it helps them. So yeah, you've seen me in some interesting outfits. This is a Dodger shirt. It's
Oh,
Oh
is it?
LA.
yeah.
Oh, you're right. I see the LA
Yeah.
now.
So yeah. Again, we have all kinds of stuff there.
No, I know.
I mean, I'm thinking about the jacket you wore at the World Series
Yeah.
parade.
Well,
I
I'm thinking about the at the women's event, that embroidered blue kind of
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian linen shirt. That was so beautiful.
yeah, I've got a bunch of those. Yeah.
Well, Stan,
I've been here 13 years, so I've accumulated a whole lot of stuff.
true. And you did once tell us that there is a Goodwill in Atlanta that has a great Dodger section.
I send extras of everything we give away to my daughter because her sons are fanatic Dodger fans, and she told me,
Aw.
"You just got to stop. It's too much. We have too much stuff." But I wouldn't stop, and I kept doing it. And a few months later, she said, there's a whole section in the Goodwill store locally that is a Dodger section because you've sent us too much stuff. We have to give it away. That's true.
At some point, I maybe next season we can go to the Atlanta game away,
I
and we've
know.
got to go to that thrift store.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We'd have a
Okay.
field day.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Stan, we know that you are a father, you're a grandfather, you're a husband. I mean, I know how much I beam with pride for my father. Like, I can imagine how your kids and your grandkids just view you, and that's got to be so special.
Thank you. I hope, who knows? I will say something interesting. So I run sports teams, and I'm a lawyer. I have 4 kids. Not one of them is a sports fan, and not one of them is a lawyer. So I'm just a great role model, right? But they always came to games because it was the only way to see Dad because he was out
Mhm.
most nights. So and all their friends wanted to come to games, all right. But they didn't grow up, caring desperately about teams or things like that. They always wanted us to win. They're always at postseason games, things like that, but they're not real sports fans. My youngest son um, thinks, those of us who care so much about sports, we're all kind of silly, and it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
However, I also have 14 grandkids, and a lot of them have become real sports fans.
Yeah.
So it must have skipped a generation. That's okay. I think both paths are very respectable. So
Yeah. I mean, as
uh,
long as they're following their passions, that's probably what you inspired them to do the most.
actually, their mother did that more than
Oh,
me because she was home a lot more than I was.
yeah.
I have one sister, and I very much gravitated towards the love of sports in my family. And my sister, I could tell you, she could name one Dodger player, and it's Will Smith.
I was in South Africa 5 or 6 years ago, and I happened to have a Dodger bag with me, and there was a local airport employee, and I said, "Oh, Dodgers." I said, "You know that?" "Oh, yes, yes, love the Dodgers." I said, "Okay, who's your favorite player?" And he couldn't name any except Vin Scully. So, so I told that to Vin. He enjoyed that.
Oh,
Oh my
Vin.
gosh. Wow.
Well, that plays.
It really does.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but there you go. That's who they knew in South Africa.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Well, Stan, our show really is about the love of the game and how much it's more than baseball. So we'd love to know, did you grow up loving sports? Were sports big in your household? How did it
Uh,
start for you?
Sports were non-existent in my household. My parents were immigrants. They didn't know about American sports. I latched onto it. My earliest recollection, I was 8, and then I got hooked on baseball, and I became, yeah, passionate about baseball. And later on, the other sports came to me too, which is how I wound up in the NBA. But yeah, I've been a passionate baseball fan since I was 8 years old.
Wow.
I know I'm also from New Jersey, like you. Was it Yankees? Was it Mets? Who were
Yeah,
you
I know.
watching?
I was a Yankees fan up until the day I went to work for the Braves. Yeah.
I definitely get some heat from the East Coasters now that I'm a huge Dodger fan. And I like what you said that what was it? What
That
we were
if
watching.
he can convert, like he knows anyone
It's
can.
possible. It's possible. That's what I say too.
Whenever I see, occasionally I'll run into someone somewhere with a Yankee hat. It's hard to believe, but yeah, I do. And I tell those people, I have good news for you. You can get over that. I did too. So yes, I couldn't be more all Dodgers all the time.
Well, we can't wait to get to Dodgers in your career, but so you were in New York for a bit and then going to school,
Yeah.
and then you become at 27 the GM of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I had a unique owner in Atlanta.
How
Well,
did that
most
happen?
owners are unique. Um, I was working for Ted Turner. I got a job right out of law school. I met Ted at a ball game of all things in St. Louis, and he hired me. And that year he was also buying the Hawks, and he needed someone to help out. And front offices had like 6 people back in those days. It was tiny. This was the 70s. And so he asked me to go over there and help out uh, in this front office of a franchise that was really troubled. And so I did some of that, and he had me stay there for a while, and I did that for 2 years till he fired the guy in front of me, and I was the only one left. And he said, "Stan, you're the GM." That's a short version of a much longer, more complicated story. But
Hmm.
there I was, and
So you were
uh,
learning to be a GM while a GM at
yeah,
27.
yeah, for sure. And it was hard because I had no natural constituency in the NBA. Was not a former player. I was not a coach. I had to learn everyone from scratch, while also learning the business and the Constitution and the bylaws and all of that legal stuff. So
Hmm. But then you went on
I,
to be the GM of the year back to back. So it's like a lot of people
yeah,
get put into places, but I mean, at some point it was your natural ability.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I've had a lot of lucky breaks along the way, but I did have a pretty good run. While I was a GM. I did that for 10 years, 9 or 10 years.
Right.
And yeah, I won some awards. And it's because of that, Ted sent me back to the Braves because the Braves were having trouble. So, but he didn't send me back just to do the Braves. He wanted me to go back and do both, which is nuts. As I told him, I said it publicly. He didn't care. He thought it was a great idea. So
So then on
when
top of that, you decided to add an NHL team.
Well, that was much later.
Okay.
I was, yeah, because I was building an arena, because I knew the arena business from running the Hawks. And they said we wanted to get an NHL team. And I was very close with the NHL commissioner, still am. And we got an expansion team. And they said, and the deal I made with them, I'd build the building, but I'm not going to be involved with the team. And we had someone else running the team. But before our first game, that person left for a different job. And the phone on my desk rings and says, "Hey, guess what, Stan? You've got a third team." It's literally that
This is
silly. And
crazy.
that's what happened. Yeah. And I said,
Wow.
"Okay, I'm not going to be the president because you can't be president of 3 teams." I said, "Okay, you're right. Well, we'll do something else and you'll find someone." But when the press release came out later in that day, it had me as president. And we had a deal. I was not going to be the president, but someone above me thought differently. So there I was. Yeah.
Wow, and also different sports that you're running. I'm wondering what, like, I'm sure there's so many differences, but what are similarities in running
Uh,
baseball,
the, the, the,
hockey, basketball?
the business is largely the same everywhere. It's the nuts and bolts of running a business, having your staff, having your ticket sales, your marketing, your sponsorship, all of those things. I think there's a great difference in dynamics among the players and the team side, relations with their unions. Even the unions are different. We recruit players from different parts of the world for all three of those sports. So there are a lot of differences. I took the time to have teams meeting with each other to see what lessons we could share. Invariably, the lessons were all on the business side, not much to be shared um, on the team side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, 3 different seasons happening. I mean, that's year round for you.
Yeah, I made note of that. Yeah, I had a score almost every night of the year, which is not a great way to live, especially if you consider postseason and preseason. Um, uh, but had great staffs wherever I've been. That has been any success I've had has been because I've had great people working with me, and the invention of the BlackBerry. I could not have kept track of stuff without some device that handy, that universal. And the BlackBerry gave way to the iPhone and all these other innovations. But without technology, it would not have been doable at all.
Man.
Have you been able to turn your phone off in like 4 decades?
Uh, you know, when I'm overseas, my phone goes to sleep, overnight. But for emergencies, it'll ring through. And when I'm overseas, sometimes I have to shut it down because if people don't know I'm overseas, they'll call me in the afternoon, but it's 3 in the morning wherever I am. And so sometimes I have to shut it off. And sometimes when I just really need some sleep, I turn it off.
We can't all get the 10+ hours like Shohei, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, wow, that sounds like a dream come true. Wow, that is amazing. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of overseas, we were able to go to Tokyo, and what an experience.
I got this dress in Tokyo.
Yeah, she did get that dress in Tokyo. And that was just such an experience. I mean, as a fan who's loved baseball my whole life, to be there and see it through a whole different culture's eyes and honestly feel like what you guys are building and the culture you've built through the Dodgers feels like the respect and the love and the it felt so in sync, but on a whole different level there.
Yeah, we were blown away. I mean,
Blown away.
not just because Shohei's face is on every billboard and every commercial, but walking around and seeing everyone in Dodger hats. I mean, we really are building a beautiful community through our podcast, and we met through the Dodger community, so we are already so grateful. But to just walk around and be amongst each other, and I mean, the silence when Shohei got up to bat at the Tokyo Dome is something we'll never forget.
Two things stood out to me. One was what you just talked about, the omnipresence of Shohei, how overwhelming it is. It's we talk about Lionel Messi and we talk about Michael Jordan, and Shohei's like that. He's one of those, especially in Japan, and increasingly around the world, not just Japan. That's number one. Number two, though, what we are doing is what we knew we were embarking on when we got here 12 years ago. This was the Dodgers, okay? Mark and I first set out to buy another team, which was for sale at the time. And then when we were told the Dodgers were going to be available, we both looked at each other and said, whoa, that's a whole different thing. And it was, and it took an extra year. But we knew that this was an opportunity to do something on a very, very large scale because of the support and the history and the legacy of everything that had come before us. So a lot of things we do are just polishing up the stuff that was done long before we got here. And we've worked hard to polish that stuff up. We've worked hard to keep the team competitive every year. We've worked hard to make the stadium a 21st century experience. And we've worked hard with our community programs to reach out every way we can to our community, which increasingly includes way beyond Metro Los Angeles. So we didn't invent anything that we've been doing or having success with. We just took that ball and ran with it. And we're very proud of what it has become.
And we do know that team that you didn't mention, who you were looking at too. We don't like to talk about them.
The Astros.
Yeah.
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 Well, people from LA, we definitely see and appreciate your guys' forward thinking. And, hearing you say that, it's like this has been inspiration for you guys for years. And I can imagine what it's going to look like in another 10 years when I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to look like in 10 years. I've stopped projecting ahead because in 10 years now, it won't be me here. It'll be someone smarter, better at doing the next generation of things. But there are things changing every day in our business. Technology is something we adopt vigorously here. Some teams
Mhm.
don't believe in modern techniques or modern tools. We believe in it religiously. And because of that, I think everything will be better for us going forward. It'll be better for the team. It'll be better for our fans. It'll be better for our community. We're always thinking about that. And we talk about that with other teams too that are in Mark's world. That's something that we believe in here in this ownership group, and just being opportunistic and taking advantage of any new thing that comes down the pike. Um, it's kind of one of our bedrock philosophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we really appreciate that. I mean, we met Dave Roberts once, and once heard that we had a Dodgers podcast, he was kind of like, "Ah, I'm afraid. What are you talking about with me?" And we're like, "Dave, we really
Yeah.
trust you. We trust our organization. We trust the front office. We trust you because you prove us right every time."
Hmm.
And like that's a big part of being a Dodger fan, and even now having a podcast and knowing more about baseball and being more in it to like you can't live with every win and loss and be so high about and your emotions. It'll be a whole roller coaster. So really trusting the season, trusting the team, trusting the decision making. It kind of does like give us comfort.
Hmm.
It's funny you say that. Doc is great and what he's done has been great. But every day the results haven't been great, right? And the internet, is ready to swoop down on you, on me, on Andrew, on everyone on those off days. But I remember taking a walk out of our hotel in 2020 and during the World Series, and right next door to it, and we had just lost Game 5 the night before. No, Game 4, an awful Game 4 the night before. And yeah, it was just horrible. Everyone was in a bad mood. And this walk I took was right next to an amusement park and a giant roller coaster. And I took a picture of it. I said, "Hey, Doc," I sent it to Doc. I said, "This is a perfect analogy for our whole year. So just have fun with this." And 2 nights later, we won the World Series. So yeah, our
Well, there
lives
you
are
go.
a roller coaster if you take it too seriously. I have to tell you, Ted Turner used to tell me this, that you can't take wins and losses. So this was 30 years ago. He told me this. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I take losses very seriously, and I take wins very seriously. All of us, all of you out there who are talking smack to us and kicking us while we're down after a loss, you
Not
should know
us.
we're already hurting.
Hmm.
Okay. You people on the internet, believe me, we know we lost last night. We
Hmm.
know we're stupid and worthless and don't deserve your support. I get that. Okay. Wait till tonight. Give us another chance.
Yeah.
We really do spin everything positive on our show. And I was even going to
Right.
ask you, like, what would you say to the fans? Because we are always trying to calm them down and trust the team and trust that it's going to work out. Um,
Uh,
do
I
not hang on to every win and loss so strongly.
well, listen, I think the difficulty for any team is that we compete against 29 other really good, really smart, really competitive, passionate front offices and ownerships that are trying to win every night. And if you're an amazing team, you'll win 60% of the time, right? You have to win like 52% probably puts you in the playoffs. So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of losing along the way. Also, you're not gonna win every year. I think we win more than most. For some people, that's not enough. I get it. That's okay. I
Hmm.
get it. But I think most people who want to support a team uh, will appreciate that the team is competitive every year. That's our goal, to be competitive. I don't know if we're going to win every year. I don't know what's going to happen in the postseason. Um, but I think we'll be competitive because we're the Dodgers. That's part of the legacy we have we have accepted when we bought the team, and we're trying real hard to continue that. So far, we have been competitive. We have been in the postseason every year. I think that's the minimum you should expect from the Dodgers, and everything that happens after that is great. But I know that if we don't win the last game of the year, there are going to be an awful lot of unhappy people, starting with me.
Yeah.
How do you go into a year like this year after winning the World Series? How is the preparation for the year different?
Well, it was shorter. We play till November.
Mm-hmm.
Most teams are done at the end of September. We also had to go to spring training 2 weeks earlier than everyone else because we were going to Japan. So we had a very short off season, but it was a very busy off season because we have an army of people who work around the clock getting us ready, even during people who are working now about what we're going to do in the off season. That happens all the time. So we were ready for it. There was nothing different about it. We just felt a little better every day. That's all I can tell you, because it is what we spend our lives working toward. The fact that we've been in the postseason, I think it's 12 years in a row now, is tremendous comfort to me, but it isn't enough. We're at this to win a World Series, and we've won a couple of those, but we every day we want to win more. And I tell this to friends of mine who win big awards, who win Academy Awards or Pulitzers. I said, here's what I know from winning a World Series. No one can ever take it away from you. It's yours. It's in the history books. It's there forever. Till you die, you're a World Series champion. The second thing I know is it never stops you from wanting another one. And that's how we feel. If we win 10 in a row, we're going to want 11. And it's why it's so interesting that as we're in the locker room in Yankee Stadium celebrating, Shohei grabs me after pouring a bottle of champagne on my head. And his only words to me were 9 more to go, Stan. 9 more to go, because he signed for 10 years. So, okay, that's
Let's
cool.
do it.
That gave me the
That's how we
chills.
all feel. That's how we
Yeah.
all feel. Yeah.
See, and I mean, there's been so many special teams through my whole life of being a fan. And, being in the postseason for the last 12 years, I mean, this team, though, is so special. It's something different. Like when I think about you guys going back to back, it makes my heart and my tummy just like clench and wiggle because it just, I want it so bad. And I mean, our guys aren't just amazing, star-studded, Hall of Fame, like kind of guys. We're so proud of who they are as just men and how they represent themselves. And we truly, when people like to talk crap and whatever, it's like we just like walk away smiling because in the end, it's like we not only have talent, but we just have like these leaders, and it's just beautiful, honestly.
It has been the last few years in particular have been great, exciting years with some great people. But I have to tell you, every team that we've had here had real quality people that we're proud to call Dodgers. It really going all the way back to our very first year here, and if we didn't feel that way about them, they wouldn't be here long. So I'm glad you feel that way, because it's certainly what we want to put out there. We don't get everything right every day, but we're trying every day to get it right, and I think our players feel the same way.
I would love to know, just from your viewpoint, we as fans, we love these guys. We love them. We know, everything about them personally. We're cheering on their families. What is it like for you to just watch them on a daily basis? Is there anything that would surprise us or that you've been impressed by?
Not really. I have to tell you this. I stopped being a fan a very long time ago. Okay. I
Okay.
stopped having that perspective. Okay. First of all, this was my business. But second of all, these people really were my family, especially when I was in the NBA, when I was a GM. We had 12 players. That's it. There are no minor leagues. Okay. There's nothing else. We really were family. And that's the same way it is with a baseball team, even though we have 200 minor leaguers to go with the 26 people up here. We really are a family because we're united by Dodger Blue. And that's a thing we are all very, very proud of. So there's nothing that you don't understand, except try to keep in mind, which a lot of people lose sight of. They're real people. And when you're coming down on them, they're already hurting. When someone struck out with the bases loaded, He knows he did that. Okay. You don't need to remind him or get on him. He wasn't trying to do that. Now, I'm being unrealistic when I tell people to just ease up because that's just not how the world works. It's certainly not how the world works in the era of social media, but they're real people. And a lot of what our coaches and our manager and front office have to do is deal with real people problems. Is someone having a problem in his marriage? Is someone having a problem with their extended family? Is someone sick that we don't know about? Is someone having other issues? We have to deal with those kind of things that we never publicize, that you all almost never hear about. But when someone's in a slump, it may not just be about, it's never about not working because they're always working. I don't know anyone who isn't working. But there may be other things going on that, and sometimes we don't know about it. Often we don't know about it. We'll hear about it from an agent who might know about some private thing that we don't know about. It's one of those rare cases where the agents and the team are aligned on, trying to get the most out of this player. So that's the thing to keep in mind. They're just regular people, and it's hard to appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear, some of them who have been kind of going through slumps and, they get a post-game interview and you can hear it in their voices and, it really tugs at your heart because it's like we don't want any of our boys to feel this way. And if they're feeling this way, like what can we do to pull them out? Like how can we give them support? Like we did a standing ovation for Mookie, but it's like now we're like, who else does someone else need it? Like who else needs it? Because we really truly just want them to feel good. When you see someone up and they're struggling, like I look at them at bat and I'm just like, come on. Like, I want this so bad for you. Like, this is going to like pull you out. Like, and yeah, you're always just rooting for the individual person.
My perspective is, I think, interesting because I've been on the losing side so often. My teams that I've been with have been in the World Series 9 times, but 6 of those we lost. Well, let's call it at least 5 of those we lost. And so I'm really sympathetic to what's going on in the other locker room, because whenever you see us celebrating on the field, the other locker room is devastated. I specifically remember, before you were born, go look it up, in the 1992 NLCS. Sid Bream scored on the last pitch of a game in Game 7, and we were 1 out away from not going to the World Series, where we had been the year before, and we were favored, and we didn't. And 2 outs, bottom of 9th inning, Francisco Cabrera hits a ball, and Sid has to try to score from second base, and he does. And the Pirates, and this was the last time the Pirates were good.
Wow.
My first, as we're all jubilant and jumping up and down because we're going to the World Series, I'm looking at the owner's box on the other side of the field. They're the only people in the stadium not standing up. Like, they're all devastated, just sick, because they were 1 out from going to the World Series and didn't get it. And so I think about that a lot more than I think most people do, because I have been in that situation way more than I care to remember.
Well,
That's true.
Probably what makes you special.
Listen, I've been with 2 teams that lost a World Series in Game 7, and one of them was in extra innings of Game 7. You can't imagine that pain. Competitive pain. You cannot imagine what that feels like. And someday I hope to get over it. But it's been almost 40 years and I haven't gotten over that yet. So
Wow.
I do think about what's happening in the other locker room, because I have so much respect for everyone we play against, because I know how hard this job is. And the best people at it make it look easy. It's never easy. They make it look easy, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
We heard you say in an interview that coming to the Dodgers is the most fun you've had, the best thing you've done, and the most important thing you've done.
Yeah.
And, watching you stand on the stage at the World Series parade and talking to the fans in the audience and all the guys on stage saying, we're all part of the best team in baseball. Like, that was such a moment that I won't forget, and just gives me chills up and down my body. And I would just love to know what you meant when you said that.
Well, it's, as I said, it's an accomplishment that can never be taken away. For one moment in your life, you're part of the best baseball team in the world. period. And no one could question that anymore because you won the series. And that's unique, and you should cherish it. Of course, the teams on the other side of the field should be proud of what they've done, but they don't have this. This is so special. It's so rare. I talked to James Paxton last night, who happened to be
Oh.
in town, getting his ring because he hadn't been with us all year, who we had on the team last year. And he was a longtime major leaguer, and he loved getting the ring and he loved looking at the ring. And I said, because he'd been with a number of different teams. I said, "Is this your first one?" He said, "Yeah, it's my first one." And an awful lot of people, most people, will go through their entire career and never have that. And so it was a great pleasure for me to see his reaction because I know how that feels. It's very cool.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
you keep saying how when you win a World Series, you can't take it away. And I just have to, can you tell us something about the 2017 World Series that can make us feel better?
No, I have nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing. Also, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
because I would just get in trouble. You've read about it. You have your own thoughts. I have my own thoughts. I know the record book says what it says. And so I have partially moved on. Partially.
I have not.
I mean, when being a part, I was at the game when they first came to Dodger Stadium after they cheated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being a part of
Allegedly.
that crowd,
Allegedly.
really? But being a part of that crowd, it was the loudest I've ever heard Dodger Stadium. I
Yeah.
could barely hear myself with the boos. It
And
did give me some satisfaction.
And the fact that, fans are still doing it, this is 8 years later.
Yes.
Even the individuals who show up. And now that Carlos is back with the Astros, that will be interesting when they both come to town. Listen, I understand it. Fans care. It was why I said what I said at the after the parade, that fans care as much as we do. Fans care as much as we do, and they invest as much of their passion as we do. And so, all of you are also world champions if you're a Dodger fan for that moment in time. And I hope you appreciate it as much as we do.
I feel it. I will take that. Usually people are like, no way, it's you. No, yeah, I feel that. I want to be a world champion. And, during the Padres series with all of the rivalry vibes and all of that, a few girls who reached out to us and, it's like, that's one thing that we can defend. It's like, we're the champions right now. You could talk about anything, but right now we are the champions. And until you can say that, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to hold on to it.
Yeah, for you, and you should. You deserve it. You earned it. Yeah. Yeah.
I really want to talk about the culture of the Dodgers because I'm not lying when I say I moved here from New Jersey. I've loved baseball from my dad. And one of the first things I did when I moved here was go to a Dodger game. I didn't know anybody when I moved here. And when I started going to games, it really started connecting me with the city. I started making friends. And when I start to like something, I want to know everything about it. So I started learning about the organization. You guys had just taken over. Guggenheim had just taken over. And I started learning about just how much thought you put into every little thing from how the trainers you hire, the coaches, how you do everything different for every player, how you take care of the guys in the minor leagues. We had some wives on the podcast and they beam about how well taken care of they are. It just seems like every little thing is taken care of. And on top of it, you care about winning. I thought every team in baseball would do everything in their power to win, but it really doesn't seem like that's the case. So it just makes me appreciate the Dodgers so much. And and then on top of it, we win so much. So it's been great.
Don't be too hard on other teams. I think every team does care about winning and every team does try to win. They don't have the resources that we have, the natural resources of the LA marketplace, the historical resources of the fan base that was cultivated through decades and decades of support, and the ownership resources, that a willingness and a belief in investing in our team, which is investing in our fans, so that fans can continue to invest in us and keep the circle going. That's kind of the virtuous cycle we're in right now with our fans. I understand our tickets are expensive, our parking is expensive, our food is expensive. Believe me, I know that. Um, but this is what we have to do to be able to do everything else right for our fans to appreciate. And this has worked for them, which is why one newspaper columnist who's in desperate need of a dictionary said, and I told him this, says our games are unaffordable. And I said to him, okay, but I have 50,000 people a night who disagree with you. I don't know who to believe. I'm sorry. Well, I believe our customers. I believe our fans who keep supporting us and encouraging us to keep our foot on the pedal. And we
Yeah.
do.
How do you put into action though that culture that you want to create? I mean, I think the Dodgers have a great reputation. Players want to play for the Dodgers. How do you put that into action and how do you sustain that?
Well, it starts from having a clear vision and communicating that to everyone. I address the team the first day of spring training every year. The only one who's been there for all of my speeches is Clayton, who busts my chops repeatedly about making the same awful speech that he has to hear about, what we represent and who the Dodgers are and what we do in the community and yada, yada, yada. Yes, he kicks me around because of that. Because he's heard it so many times, but who's a better example of everything
Oh,
about the Dodgers? So I'm going to say, well, my speech must have worked. That's all I'm going to say. So it starts there. Everyone in the organization knows the things we believe in. Um, yeah, we have different people with different beliefs and different everythings, and we don't agree on everything, but we all understand what the mission is, and each of us understands our role in accomplishing that mission. That's what we try to achieve here. And if we have any success in doing that, we're going to have highly motivated people who want to be successful and want us to be successful. So
yeah.
that's all. And everything's easier when you have the ownership that has made the commitments that ours has. It's easier to really be motivated to do this. And winning every year just makes the motivation even greater to do it again.
Yeah. It's like the guys have this like selflessness and this like whatever the team needs, whatever my role needs to be, I will step up with that and be so happy to do it. I was at a game and I think Miggy Rowe was at third and he fumbled a ball or he didn't complete the play. And as soon as he got into the dugout, I saw him and Kike just talking and going over things and talking about the play and talking about this. And I'm like, that to me is what keeps me knowing that this team is different. Like, look at them diving into each other and trying to figure it out and open communication. And it's just like the next time around, he made it like an amazing play. And it was just like, this is what I love about this culture and these guys. And they're professional athletes. Like, it's not a stretch to say a lot of them have egos and it is a big room filled with a bunch of different people, but it's like it melts away with this team. I mean, at least that's the way I'm seeing it.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way. I think that's true, but don't sell other teams short. That's all I want to say. And I say this because I've been on the other side in multiple sports. Everyone's trying. I think you see that kind of camaraderie and that kind of fanatical determination to win on most teams. Maybe in September with a team that's only won 40 games, it's not going to be the same motivation as teams that are in it, but I would say most teams, and that's what makes the sport great because every team is one pitch away from winning or losing a game most nights, and so let's give them the credit they deserve to. But I think what you said about the Dodgers is completely true, and as I said, we're very proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to watch guys like Mookie eh, be taught by Miggy Rowe and then coach Alex Freeland or Teo helping out Andy. And Andy's been phenomenal this year.
Oh my
Last night, home
gosh,
run.
Andy.
Tough loss, but Andy was
I
great.
just love him.
I'll also tell you, you mentioned Miggy Rowe, who has a future as a coach if he wants it, probably Mookie too. I remember a story. This was in the middle 90s when I was still with the Braves, and we made a trade with Montreal and picked up a player called Marquise Grissom, who was a phenomenal defensive center fielder. Grip, we call him the gripper, and pitchers loved him because he caught everything in center field. And so we made the trade in West Palm Beach. we were sharing a complex with the Expos. So he just had to walk over from one side to the other to make this trade. And it was before the game started. So after the morning drills were done, everyone comes in and goes home. And then when the field was empty, I go out and I happen to notice on the field, there's Marquise Grissom uh, uh, taking the lead off first base, talking to a young player who I remember is Tony Graffinino, a guy way before either of you were born, who was a rookie, who Marquise hadn't met till that day. And he was teaching him about how to take leads in the major leagues, you know. And so when I went to Washington years later, many years later, one of the first guys I called was Grip. I said, I need you as a coach. And he came out of retirement and he coached for me. But we have people like that all through the game. But that's just one example that sticks out to me of a veteran going out of their way to teach younger kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. You mentioned Clayton, and we just have to just take a pause with that because what a season. I mean, as a fan of just knowing what he's done for us already, I just feel like this is what I would have wanted for him. The season of him coming back and just like, what is it like watching that?
You know, we're pinching ourselves because we didn't know what to expect this year. He didn't know what to expect. And night in, night out, he has shown us he's as competitive as he ever was. His tools may be a little different, but he's using them in a way that makes him and us successful. So I can tell you we're all just thrilled about it, that the way he came back, the preparation he did on his own before he got here, obviously was exactly what he needed to do to help us get into the postseason. I'm really looking forward to his next start, which,
Yeah.
you know, is coming up.
Yeah. I mean, it just looks like he's leaning into a role. He's not as, I mean, he's serious, but he's not as serious.
It's nice to see him smile more,
Yeah.
to play catch with his son at Dodger Stadium. We love
Well,
it.
that makes everyone smile when you get to bring your kids onto the field. I can't imagine what that feels like as a player, to have your kid be able to watch you as a player. So it's special. It's special, and we all appreciate him and his family and his kids being around.
Yeah. As we just wrap up with you, Stan, and we're so grateful to have you on the podcast today. You were going after Shohei for what, 10 years before we got him? What has it been like to watch him embrace being a Dodger? It really seems like after that scandal with the translator, the team rallied around him and his personality started to come up. And now we're seeing his emotions come out as a pitcher. It's amazing.
Well, first of all, we knew about his emotion. If you remember back to that World Baseball Classic, where at the end, when they won with him striking out one of his best friends, you saw the emotion. We've all seen tape of the speech he made to his teammates before he went out there that game. He definitely has emotion. He definitely wants to win. As I told you, as soon as the series was over, he comes to me and says 9 to go. After the news that came out in Korea, once the interpreter left, the wall kind of came down because we had been led to believe you can't do this because Shohei doesn't like it. You can't do this because Shohei doesn't like it. You have to do it this way because this is what Shohei wants. We learned a lot of those things were not coming from Shohei. They were coming from the interpreter. And when this interpreter left, Shohei was able to be more of himself. At least we found out how friendly he was, how outgoing he was, how funny he was, what a great teammate he was. And he really is all of those things in the locker room. I don't know anyone who has a bad word to say about him on any score, right? As a family man, as a teammate, he is just unique. Can't use that word too often, but you can use it about Shohei. He is unique, and it has been a unique thrill being around him.
I mean, even his dog can throw the perfect pitch.
Oh, decoy.
It's amazing. Yeah, we have his dog on a bobblehead. That's how unique he is. So yeah.
I mean, he hits foul balls and he clinches to make sure everyone's okay. It's like, and every single time. And I'm like, you are just like the sweetest person.
I know.
Yeah.
How are
I'll
you
tell you, but
feeling,
behind the scenes, he really is exactly that way.
I hope at some point I can just say hi.
I mean, the nod to the manager in the other dugout, he's so respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
and so much fun to watch. But how are you feeling right now? It's
Uh,
towards the end of the season.
Oh,
We're
I'm, you know,
gonna be in the
I'm
postseason.
optimistic that we're going to be in the postseason. And when it starts, we still have 3 weeks to get everyone in sync, and we aren't there yet. But I think it's possible that by the time we get to postseason, we'll have as good a rotation as any in baseball. We will have as good and deep a bullpen as any in baseball. And I think we will definitely have the best lineup in baseball. Now, those things don't guarantee anything, but they're a good place to start. So I like
Yeah.
our chances once we get to October.
I mean, October baseball is the best time of the year. And I always say it's like you just don't really know. You can't make predictions until those games start
Yeah.
because being a veteran, like the pressure of that, it's like a whole different ball game. And so these young guys who might be performing in the regular season might not know how to perform in the postseason.
It's also why, like, when people talk about the Dodgers playing checkbook baseball or whatever, it's like you can't buy winning. It's especially in October. It's who's hot.
Yeah, I'm glad you think it's the best time of the year. It's the absolute worst time of the year for me.
Is it? It must be
I've
insane.
1 month of 24-hour pit in my stomach and not sleeping. So yeah, but you guys have a
Yeah.
good time. Great. We're suffering.
We'll send you
Stan.
pictures.
Oh my gosh. That's so good.
That is so fun. Well, Stan, thank you so much for coming
Sure.
and talking to us today. We love running into you at spring training, at the stadium, and we as fans truly appreciate everything you and the ownership group does for our organization.
Well, thanks very much. It's great seeing you. It's great seeing all our fans. It's why I walk around just so that I can see you and that all of you can see me. I think that's kind of important too, that I'm right there with all of you.
It's very
So anyway,
important.
it's great seeing you guys. Thanks for having me on today, and go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Dodgers.